Good.
Drew, almost game week. I mean, what steps are left to kind of set the depth chart as you guys prepare for Memphis?
Well, you'd like to see everybody finish this week. We got another scrimmage on Saturday that's going to be a little more, situational, a little more kind of not walkthrough-ish, but we're going to talk through some different 2-minute, 4-minute special team situations. So see how guys perform in that and kind of have another evaluation as far as more film to evaluate their scrimmage, progression. But as far as it looks right now, I mean, I feel pretty good about where the offense is at, and especially my group's at depth chart wise. And hopefully some of those younger guys can keep coming along, keep pushing, and we'll see where it happens 4 or 5 weeks down the line.
How impressed were you with Rufus over the weekend?
Oh man, probably his best practice he's had since he's been here, which is saying something because he's put together some really good practices in fall camp so far, and really nice to see it kind of come together for him. He's done some really good things, and you can kind of see how far he's come, and the ball just finds him, which is crazy. So I'm really excited for Rufus.
Have you set a number that you want to take in the first game, given it's a non-conference game, total number of your players?
It changes from week to week, but we like to be anywhere from 4 to 5, maybe 6, depending on kind of where the roster shakes out. And a lot of that has to do with Coach Mealy and the special teams on who he's taking, and obviously we're not playing with too many tight ends, so the receiver room is going to be the deepest between me and Steve. So split pretty much between outside and inside receivers, but around 5 each, something like that.
When you go back and evaluate film as their coach, I mean, obviously assignment retention is a big part of things, but what else are you looking for when you begin to kind of settle who plays with you?
Yeah, you want to see all the other things, and I talk with my guys most of a lot really about what you do without the football. The blocking, the running routes away from where you think the ball's being. We obviously want them to expect the ball every play, but when you're not getting it, how hard do you run your route? Do you care about your teammates? Stuff like that. And then the biggest principle for me is when you're not getting the ball, you're going to be in between your man or another defender and the football. So things like that show up on tape quite a lot, and the guys that respect that rule and really take it to heart, those are the guys that end up playing pretty well and end up showing up and being good players for you.
Ahead of that Arizona game this year, I know you were on the Washington State staff for a few years, I guess. What do you kind of remember of playing, in Pac-12 after dark, and some of the wacky stuff that tends to happen in those games?
No,
I guess how do you prepare for that too?
Yeah, no, I got on staff in 2016, and it feels like I was a part of some of the crazier games I've ever been a part of. The first time we went out to Arizona, I remember that was during Khalil Tate's run. That was like 3-4 games into that when he was just going crazy, and we got the bad end of the stick on that one. But yeah, some crazy games. Friday the 13th at Cal one year, which was wild. The UCLA game in 2019, and then some of the other ones too, where we came out on top, with some high scores and stuff like that. But how do you prepare for stuff like that? I don't think it's any different than how you prepare for a normal game, but that's football. Sometimes you just never know how it goes from game to game.
I mean, a lot of those games, tend to swing. It seems like a crazy play on special teams or something like that.
Yeah.
Does it make it easier to kind of sell that unit or that phase of the game to your guys?
For sure. Yeah. That's you're always preaching special teams, and you want everybody on your team to take it seriously and respect that part of the game because it shows up, right? And it like you said, just so happens that Pac-12 after dark, it ends up mattering a lot, and it does through other conferences and games and stuff like that. But yeah, when you can present specific scenarios and situations where those guys understand how important it is, not only in that part of the game, but later on in the game, that I think that helps with your team and being stronger down the line.
Is there anything you have to do special to prep your team for a 10 o'clock Central Time start out there?
No, I don't think so. And Coach Leach does actually a pretty good job, but in my mind, of guys that I've been around, just preaching, stay consistent. The details matter, and we're not going to change up what we do from week to week just because we're going out to Arizona. We're going to prepare just like we will for Memphis and LSU and so on down the line. But we're going to be excited. Those guys should be excited, and we're going to come out and play pretty hard. But obviously we got a big one against Memphis first, and that's what we're focused on right now.
You mentioned Memphis. What have you seen from Memphis's defense?
You know, it's crazy. They, you know, new defensive coordinator, obviously some new changes with transfer portal and stuff like that. They're going to have some new guys. So, you know, not that it's necessarily a guessing game, but we're going to look at the film from, you know, Ohio State, and obviously the game last year is probably going to have a little factor into it. So, but Memphis is a program. I've been around that program, you know, a lot in my life. I played at Houston, played against those guys when I was a player, and just a really tough, hard-nosed program, kind of like Mississippi State, and they'll be fired up to come in here and play hard, and we're gonna need to be on our A game for sure.
There's reports out of Memphis' practice today that they were blaring cowbells on the speakers, getting ready. I guess what kind of edge do you think that gives you guys when teams have to go through that in their preparation?
You know what? It's an incredible edge, and I, you know, being around it these last 3 years, didn't really understand it until now, being a part of it every single week during the season. But our fans do an unbelievable job, especially when they got the place rocking and it's sold out and everybody's got a cowbell, and it's tough on people. It's tough on us sometimes to even hear kind of through communication, but you know, our fans will be rocking, and we're hopefully it's even louder than it's ever been, you know, come game one. So
kind of piggybacking off that too, opponents have to prepare for the air raid, the 3-3-5, the cowbells, all the insanity that goes along with Mike Leach's play calling. How difficult an opponent do you think Mississippi State is to prepare for?
Oh man, you know what? It's got to be tough. You know, just, you know, from what we see at practice, we're going against the defense and what they see from us. You know, you liken it to playing a triple option team. You know, you're not going to see what we present to you, offense and defense, and even special teams too. Probably another time during the season. So I would have to say it's tough to prepare for, and that's kind of what we want. You know, we know what we do, and we're trying to do it well, and hopefully present some problems for the other team. You know,
when you return pretty much that whole group of the inside wide receivers, how much easier does that make the quarterback's job?
Hopefully a lot easier. You know, hopefully we got those guys coached up to be in the right spot at the right time, and you know their job down to a T, and like you said, I got a lot of experience in my room, and guys that have played a lot of football and seen you know, through their eyes our offense in different situations and stuff like that. So if the quarterbacks can trust those guys to be in the right spot, then that hopefully makes their job a little easier, and you know, again, it's all 11 people matter on offense. If everybody's doing their job, then that's the most important thing, you know.
When you were a quarterback, did you ever have guys with the experience that Jameer and Austin have? And what was that like?
Oh man, we at Houston we had a couple pretty good experienced receivers through those years, but you know, what is this year number 10 for Austin? It feels like. So I don't know. I don't know if I've been around with anybody with that much experience, but Jameer's kind of the same way. Been around for a long time. So again, that kind of to answer the question again, but those guys have seen a lot of football, been around a lot of big time games, and have done some good things. So hopefully that experience kind of bleeds through the rest of the offense and helps those quarterbacks, you know.
Do you wish some of your receivers had an extra COVID year to use?
Yeah, I wish everybody did, you know. Yeah, no, it's been really good. Those guys came back, and you know, hats off to them to you know, see the vision of kind of where we're trying to take this program, and they want to be a part of that. And both of those guys specifically, Jameer and Austin, I think do a great job of kind of not only helping with the younger guys, but you know, they're team leaders, and they speak up, and they're loud, and they're pretty vocal in terms of trying to lead us in the right direction. So I've been pretty proud about that, you know.
Sure.
Thank you, Hill State.